Hello and welcome to Non-Stop 100. In case you missed the news, here's your chance to catch all the top stories from the country and across the globe in 30 minutes straight. Home Minister Rajnath Singh, who is in Jammu and Kashmir to review the security situation, paid homage to all the martyrs at Dras's War Memorial. Former Pakistani cricketer Jantar has spewed venom against India, saying Pakistan must eliminate India and along with it the necessity for any talks. Strong differences surfaced in Uttar Pradesh's ruling family yet again as Shivpal Yadav asserts authority while distributing tickets. After Shivpal Yadav announced new names for the party's candidature, Akhilesh disagreed with the uncle's ticket distribution to tainted candidates. Pakistan continues to violate ceasefire along the line of control in Nowshera sector in Jammu and Kashmir. Heavy mortar shelling as Pakistan Army fired on the Indian Army posts and other civilian areas. Sources in the Special Operations Group of Jammu and Kashmir Police say that they have identified two terrorists who attacked the Army and the BSF camp in Baramulla district. According to sources, two of the 6 terrorists who carried out the attack at the 46 Rashtriya Rifles were Hanif alias Hilal from Jaish-e-Mohammed and both are from Pakistan. The massive search operation to hunt down those 2 terrorists who escaped after the failed attempt to attack the Army camp has now finally been called off. The attack on the security forces came in the wake of the recent surgical strikes conducted by the Indian Army. The BSF says terrorists had plans to carry out Uri-type terror attack on the installation and complimented the personnel for foiling their plans. Gun salutes were paid to BSF Jawan Nitin, who was martyred in the Baramulla terror attack. In his home in Uttar Pradesh, a pall of gloom descended as the news of his death reached his loved ones. Sources, however, say that while the terror bid was thwarted successfully, the bigger cause of concern is Pakistan activating sleeper cells in Kashmir to strike once again as a retaliation. After Moscow asked Islamabad to take steps to stop the activities of terrorist groups, Russia has now welcomed the Indian Army's surgical strike. The Russian envoy says every country has a right to defend itself. Intelligence agencies have warned that after the Uri terror attack, Pakistan-backed terror outfits might target interiors of the country as part of its counter-strike strategy. Sources say Pakistan might target India's hinterland so that Islamabad is not directly blamed or identified. Militants in South Kashmir's Kulgam district snatched 5 service rifles from guards of a minority picket. In fact, 5 SLRs, 10 magazines and 250 rounds of ammunition have been taken away from the guard room. Sources also say 2 suspicious Pakistani boats have left Karachi port and they are on their way either to Gujarat or the Maharashtra coast. The Navy and the Coast Guard have already been alerted about the 2 vessels. As the threat continues and advisories being issued over the possible terror attack, India is also putting in 6-tier security system at the line of control. Sources have told India today that security agencies are installing laser wall, underwater sensors, thermal image systems and penetrating radar at the line of control and the international border. Bollywood stands divided on the MNS threat on Pakistani actors working in India. Actors like Nana Patekar and Pakistan-born singer have backed the Maharashtra Navnirman Sena. But Salman Khan's father, writer Salim Khan, has resorted to a series of sarcastic tweets hitting out at the media and political leaders who were against Pakistani artists working in India. The advisor to Pakistan Prime Minister on Foreign Affairs, Sartaj Aziz, says that Islamabad's National Security Advisor Nasir Janjua and his Indian counterpart Ajit Doval have spoken to each other to diffuse the tension that has gripped the border and the line of control. In the wake of Pakistan's attempt to cast doubts among international media on the recent surgical strikes, the Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal has urged the Prime Minister to expose Islamabad's false propaganda. The India-Pakistan tensions have spilled over to cyberspace, with hackers believing from Pakistan defacing the website of the National Green Tribunal. As unrest still continues in the Valley of Kashmir, the Home Minister will be also receiving suggestions from a cross-section of people as he tours Kargil today. The Enforcement Directorate has countered Tycoon Vijay Mallya's allegations in a trial court, questioning his conduct and behaviour. In fact, the Enforcement Directorate has said Vijay Mallya expressed a willingness to return but made no effort to seek temporary travel documents. There is some relief for the Uttar Pradesh politician DP Yadav's son Vikas Yadav as the Supreme Court commuted his sentence from 30 years to 25 years in the Nitish Khatara murder case. Taking suo motu cognizance, the Supreme Court has imposed a fine of 25,000 rupees on the Aam Aadmi Party government for not filing proper response in a case related to the rise in vector-borne diseases in the national capital. The number of chikungunya cases in Delhi has already crossed over 5,000 mark. Reports say that more than 2,000 people are presently battling the disease. Police, in fact, have busted one of the biggest online gambling rackets, arresting at least 28 people from northeast Delhi. Armed robbers stole 10 lakh rupees from a trader in Ghaziabad. This incident took place in broad daylight. The robbers held the trader at gunpoint as people simply watched. Haji Ali Dargah Trust moved the Supreme Court, challenging the Bombay High Court order lifting the ban on women from entering the sanctum sanctorum of the Muslim shrine in Mumbai. Alleging that the former Deputy Chief Minister Chhagan Bhujbal is being unfairly targeted in order to finish off the OBC leadership, more than 5 lakh people from his community took to the streets in Nashik. The BMC, which is headed for election in February, announced the demarcation and reservation for its 227 wards. Out of the total seats, 15 wards were reserved for the SC, of which 6 have been reserved for women members. Alleging that the Shiv Sena does not wholeheartedly support the Maratha reservation, the former Chief Minister Narayan Rane claimed that the support came only after several MPs and MLAs threatened to quit the party. At least 9 people were reported to be dead in Marathwada as the retreating monsoon triggered flash floods. 4 people were killed by lightning in Jalna and in Nanded, while 5 drowned in flash floods that were reported from Beed and Latur. 2 teenagers drowned in a quarry that was filled with rainwater while taking selfies in Hyderabad. A group of 14 youngsters had gone into the quarry on the city outskirts. A girl became victim of drunk driving in Hyderabad when 2 students driving a car hit the mother-daughter duo while the 4-year-old child slipped into coma. Her mother is also believed to be in a serious condition. Panic triggered in a busy Himayat Nagar market in Hyderabad after a man brandished a gun in public while there was an altercation between 2 people. The police have now taken him into custody. Andhra Pradesh has become the first state to declare the urban areas as open defecation free on the 2nd anniversary of the Swachh Bharat mission. The Andhra Pradesh Secretariat has begun functioning from the interim government complex that came up at Amravati. A minority of employees have been shifted to the state's capital. Members of the AIADMK marched towards the Prime Minister's office to present a petition requesting his intervention to create the Kaveri Water Management Board. The team is headed by Thambi Durai from the AIADMK. Hours after the Supreme Court asked Karnataka to show some bona fide by obeying its orders in the Kaveri water matter, the Karnataka government finally agreed to release the Kaveri water to the state of Tamil Nadu. Earlier, Karnataka legislature had passed a resolution for releasing water to the farmers for their own standing crops and keeping in mind the requirement for the people of Karnataka. Now, to overcome the shortage of teachers in the State Department schools, the Department of Public Instruction is introducing mobile teachers for any emergency situation. The demand for additional coaches in metro trains to cope up with the rush is now set to be met soon. The Bangalore Metro Rail Corporation invited international bidders for the supply of 150 additional coaches for its trains. Madras High Court has refused to take up a PIL filed by activists seeking disclosure of details of Tamil Nadu Chief Minister's health as a matter of urgent hearing. The court, in fact, has stated that this information is already in public domain. But doctors at the Apollo Hospital say that the Chief Minister is on respiratory support and her condition is continuing to improve. Earlier, a doctor from the United Kingdom had also seen the Chief Minister, who was joined by a team of doctors. Former Chief Justice of India, Markandeya Karju, has condemned the DMK chief for asking about photographic evidence about Jayalalitha's health while she remains in hospital for treatment. A PIL has also been filed in the Madras High Court seeking a detailed report from the government on the health condition of Jayalalitha and releasing the pictures of the meeting that she is said to have had with her cabinet colleagues. A pro-Hindu group has released a book which reportedly hails the killer of the father of the nation, Mahatma Gandhi. This book was released on Mahatma Gandhi's birthday. 6 accused people who were arrested on Sunday for their alleged links to the Islamic State were produced before the NIA court in Kochi. The court has also sent them to police custody till the 14th of this month. The state opposition has accused the government of irregularities in its agreement with self-financing medical colleges in the state. The opposition simply walked out of the assembly after discussions called by the speaker failed. The hunger strike called by the UDF MLAs protesting against the government's agreement with self-financing colleges continues for the 8th day now. The Chief Minister's economic advisor, Geeta Gopinath, has arrived in the state and will be holding a meeting with the Chief Minister and other top officials. She says steps will be taken in the best interests of the state. Kerala Blasters team arrived for their first home match in ISL Season 3 in Kochi. The Blasters team, who finished bottom of the table in Season 2, will now be facing Atletico de Kolkata in their first home match. A retired engineer in the capital city stabbed his mate to death. The man went to a local police station and even confessed to his crime. In yet another case of man versus nature, a wild elephant was mowed down in a forest. In fact, a man in a forest in Birbhum. The man was working in his farm when the elephant attacked him. More than 250 people, including several children, fell sick after having dinner at a wedding ceremony in South 24 Parganas. The ailing guests were rushed to a sub-divisional hospital. After conducting raids for 15 days, a joint police team arrested 4 people of a motorcycle stealing gang. More than 40 bikes were also seized from there. A TMC worker was brutally beaten up by 6 of his party workers in Burdwan. In fact, the man was critically injured in the attack and was rushed to the hospital where he is presently recuperating. Colombians have rejected a peace deal to end 52 years of war with the FARC guerrillas. The referendum has thrown the country into confusion about its future. Red Cross says hundreds have been killed in North Korea after flash floods hit the country this year. An estimated 600,000 people require humanitarian assistance and at least 30,000 homes are reportedly damaged. Afghan forces got ready to defend the Kunduz after Taliban fighters attacked the northern Afghanistan city overnight. Police at St. Louis shot and wounded a 14-year-old boy who fired at the officers first. Police say that the black teenager fired one shot at the police before the police returned the fire back. Nobel Prize for Medicine for groundbreaking experiments with yeast, which exposed a key mechanism in body's defenses. Hundreds turned out for the annual Pumpkin Festival in Northern California, where the autumn fruit was celebrated with exhibits and a contest to see just who could grow the largest pumpkin. The International Balloon Fiesta wowed crowds for a second day in New Mexico to the delight of thousands of spectators who had gathered. Portuguese soccer star Cristiano Ronaldo opened his second CR7 hotel in Lisbon. The 82-room hotel is the second of the 4 that are part of the joint venture. Stella McCartney wiped the serious pout of Fashion Week's face with a lively tribute to fun and wearable clothes. The designer's show at the Paris Fashion Week closed with a dance finale. Pope Francis visited the church in the Georgian capital of Tbilisi. In fact, the Pope met with priests, religious men and women and even called for Christian unity. The Turkish president has criticized the European Union, saying that the bloc had failed to fulfill its pledge to provide 3 billion euros of aid for migrants as part of a landmark deal. Meanwhile, a Russian military court has started the trial of 5 people accused of carrying out the murder of leading Russian opposition figure Boris Nemtsov. Hurricane Matthew edged closer to Haiti, bringing winds and torrential rain that could wreak havoc in the Caribbean nations. Some 2,000 people in one coastal town have refused to evacuate the area. Police in Greece fired tear gas to control a demonstration of pensioners protesting over cutbacks to their benefits. The step is part of an austerity drive requested by the international lenders. Olympic medal winners in Mumbai on Monday. He also presented each of the Rio winners of the past edition 15 lakh rupees each. Yuvraj Singh will be leading the Punjab team in their opening Ranji Trophy match against Railways Delhi from the 6th of October. Harbhajan Singh, who was earlier named as the skipper, however, is not going to be available for the match. Swansea hired former United States coach Bob Bradley as their new manager on Monday after the struggling Premier League club sacked Francesco on his birthday. Spanish side Valencia have appointed the former Italy boss Caesar as their new full-time manager. In fact, the 59-year-old replaced the former Liverpool assistant manager Paco. Alia Bhatt is surely going places, and it seems that she just might add another feather to her already loaded cap by bagging the lead role in the remake of a yesteryear classic Sadma. Actor Sonu Sood, who is gearing up for the release of his debut film production, has now rapped a few lines of a song. Deshmukh, who will now be seen co-hosting Yaro Ki Barat, had a fanboy moment when megastar Amitabh Bachchan and Shatrughan Sinha appeared on the upcoming TV show to talk about their friendship. Singer Demi Lovato has blamed the paparazzi for making her feel trapped during her stay in Turkey. The heart attack singer has accused paparazzi for not allowing her to go for sightseeing. Sources say actor Brad Pitt is still extremely crushed from the series of events that have unfolded since his wife and actress Angelina Jolie filed for divorce from him. Actress Lindsay Lohan underwent an emergency operation on her ring finger after part of it was injured in a boating accident off the Turkish seaboard. Private photographs of supermodel Kate Moss was leaked online after a hacker reportedly broke into her sister's Facebook account. Reality TV star Kim Kardashian, who was attending a Paris Fashion Week, was robbed of jewellery worth €6 million, and she was in fact robbed at gunpoint. However, she was unharmed. Details of Google's Pixel smartphones has been leaked just a day before the official unveiling. In fact, this after Carphone Warehouse leaked the promotional content. Facebook launched Messenger Lite, which is a stripped-down version of its popular Messenger app for emerging markets as it seeks to expand its international footprint. Toyota Motor has unveiled a doe-eyed palm-sized robot, which the firm is calling Robo Mini. Ahead of the festive season, domestic smartphone maker Carbon Mobiles have launched 2 new smartphones in India, and one of the phones, in fact, is available online. Casio has launched 2 lamp-free projectors with TCO certification that reduces the power consumption by up to 50%. The projector keeps user-friendliness, safety and products eco-friendliness in concern.